So now it is that your girl's recording. Let's go ahead. Let's jump into this next damn reaction, shall we? And speaking of Cameron, you know what I'm saying? He in the VC with us, chopping it up and everything. This man said it is that I need to stress out more, chat. I did not know this man is 20, either 20 or 21. And then he's looking at me as just like, you're 32? Nah, you need to stress out more. You look way younger than your anticipated age. That is crazy. But Cameron, shout outs to you, gang. Andrew Tate ruined a generation of kids. Andrew Tate, red pill streamers, all that stuff in one. Yes, I do. I already attesting to this as it is. He said, "Hi, YouTube. Join us on the Twitch." Absolutely, bro. So without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead. Let's jump into this reaction, y'all. Let's do it.
So ever since 2022, there has been a rise in like these self-improvement alpha finance gurus that all spew the same message. Wake up at 4 a.m., start a business, start working out, stop playing video games, and escape the matrix. All that jazz, right? And these videos have become extremely popular because of people like Andrew Tate. I mean, we all saw the method that he pulled in 2022, how literally everybody was posting that man's clips and he was just saying some of the craziest things.
I am extremely versed in CPR. I do know how to administer CPR. However, I will not administer CPR unless you're a hot female.
And since so many people saw him get success from doing that method, a lot of people are trying to pull that same method nowadays. So now you got all these like fake like Andrew Tates going around, and it's pretty cringe.
Stop breathing like a bunny rabbit. A bunny rabbit is a victim and it breathes in and out so quickly you can see its stomach going in and out.
What? What are you talking about, gang? What are you talking about?
But what's cringier than that is that these hustle culture, self-improvement, like finance guru videos have leaked into the youth. And now you got these kids spewing that exact same message that they're spewing in these videos when they're like 13 years old. And it's one of the saddest, but also cringiest things I've ever seen.
When you're playing video games, you are literally doing absolutely nothing.
I get paid to go ahead and play video games. What are we talking about? I get paid to go ahead and play video games. I get paid to go ahead and react. I get paid to go ahead and sit on my ass and yap when people sit there and be like, you're a certified yapper. This is a privilege in order to do this. The fact that they're like, and my little brother says stuff like this too. So I got to put him into the mix as well. Not to go ahead and put, you know what I'm saying, but I'm called truth to power.
You're staring at a screen going into a fake world and you're not doing anything productive. You're not making money. You're not starting a business. You're not doing anything. So get off the video game. Follow me for more tips like this.
Bro, you are like 10 years old. Why do you need to be making money and have a business at 10 years old? This video is insane to me because the internet has literally brainwashed kids / teens into thinking that doing normal things that teens do is a waste of time, like playing video games, chilling with their friends, or just watching a movie or something like that. Apparently, those aren't normal things that teens do anymore. Apparently, you gotta be set with mansions, Rolexes, Lambos, and a whole business by 13 years old or you're a failure, which is
trust me, I just had this conversation with my mom. My brother has already sat there and said it is like, oh yeah, I'm making $10,000 a month, and the first thing it is I'm gonna get with my check is a Gucci watch. Boy, do you know how expensive a damn Gucci watch? What job do you think it is you're going to be getting with your first check? A Gucci watch. The level of delusion it is that is coming from, and I hate to say this from my Gen Zs that's out there, man, because some of y'all are cool. There's some of y'all that is absolutely very cool, and there's some that is just straight delusional at this point, big delulu, because there's no way in hell it is that you thought that through. It was just like, oh yeah, like this is absolutely gonna happen. Most at this rate now, you'll be lucky enough if you get a job that pays you $13 an hour. Hell, even 10 at this point. There's some states it is that don't even have to pay you that. They could pay you $7, $8, $9 an hour. So the fact that you're thinking that is a little weird.
Which is actually insane. How am I supposed to have all that by 13? Bro, by 13, I don't even think I had $13. But before we get any further, number one, YouTube, I am not trying to bully / harass any of these teens in this video. If you're watching this video, do not go out and bully / harass any of them. And number two.
Exactly. And also YouTube as well. This is not cyberbullying. This is not harassment or anything like that. We're looking at this as an educational standpoint. This, to be honest, but it's definitely not that. We don't do bullying and harassment, YouTube.
Dude, thank you guys for 100K subscribers. I've never just sat down and just said thank you to y'all. I just wanted to say I appreciate every single one of you that legit sit down, watch my videos, or maybe stand up. Maybe you might be standing up watching this video right here. But I appreciate anybody who pretty much just shows support on this channel, watches the videos, shares them with their friends, whatever. Thank y'all. Now that being said, let's get back to the video.
This may be controversial, but I think teens should spend at least 5 of their teenage years just trying to become successful. And so before you start hating in the comments, let me say this. It literally takes $82 a day to make the average yearly income in America. And online, there's literally like hundreds, maybe even thousands of courses or different models that you could use to make that money. Right now, I'm doing video editing and I own an agency, so I'm making even more than that each day. And I'm only 13, so you could easily do the same thing.
I find this video insane because this kid hasn't even lived 2 of his teenage years, yet he thinks most teens should spend 5 of their teenage years trying to become successful. That literally just doesn't make sense because this man hasn't experienced what he's talking about. He's just talking out of his booty cheeks, you know? That's literally social media hustle culture brainwash right there. Like, I feel like the saddest part is that this kid is 13 saying this, bro. He was 12 last year. Isn't that insane? It's different if this kid lived his teenage years, then said this, it'd make more sense because he'd have the experience to back up what he's saying. But the fact that he didn't experience his teenage years and he's just saying this on his first teenage year, that just pretty much confirms that he's just spewing what he heard online from one of these gurus.
It's 3 a.m. on a Sunday night. All my friends are getting drunk, getting invited to parties, and losing
Getting what? Getting what?
their virginity. And I spent all night working on my businesses. But just watch, in a couple of months, when I'm gonna be chilling in Dubai and living my dream life, you guys are gonna call me lucky. Just watch.
Number 1, your friends are not out drinking and losing their virginity on a Sunday night. Everyone hates Sunday because it's pretty much the prelude to Monday. Nobody is doing anything.
It's me. Every week, y'all going to get it. Is tomorrow's Monday again? Y'all go get that tweet every week, bro. I started that whole saga when I actually was working my 9 to 5, and it carried with me throughout these years. I've been doing this for years, gang. Trust me. Hold on one second. I had to put food in Shadow's bowl. but yes, I do have a disdain for Mondays. I do. Mondays is the first business day back from the weekend. A lot of times, and especially if y'all was especially if it is that y'all was working a 9 to 5, like how I used to. You staying up a little late and everything. Now you got to readjust your sleeping schedule. Mondays is usually the tiredest for you, girl. Every week, but I've learned to make Mondays be nervous about me. Now, that's one way to look at it.
On a Sunday night, except for sleeping, my boy. Number 2, who are your friends losing their virginity to? The hookers in GTA? You do not look a day over 10. And number 3, just because you're up at 3 a.m. grinding for your business, that doesn't make you better than everybody else. Like, the way that this man is talking is making it seem like, oh, I'm better than my whole class because I'm up at 3 a.m. grinding. When it's like, bro, you're not better than them just because you're doing that. Let's be real here.
It's 3:30 right now on a Monday night. I've been staying up all night working my new business. But watch, a few months from now, when my business is taken off, I'm going to be chilling in Dubai, living my dream life, and everybody's going to call me lucky. Just wait and see.
This man literally just stole the script from the last kid. The only thing that he did differently was add some music and some like little effects and stuff like that. Other than that, this is the exact same video as the last kid. They're just...
I'm confused. What are the businesses it is that they're doing? Because, I mean, I got my working papers at 14, right? And I am not disparaging any of these teens. If this is something that you want to do and get out of yourself, like get yourself out of the cycle of going ahead and working a 9 to 5 so you don't have to do that for the rest of your life and everything, I can actually commend these teens for striving to go ahead and do this. But where's the adult in the equation? There's no way it is that a child is doing this. Like you don't have the capabilities legally to go ahead and to do this. That means an adult is the main person, or the guardianship is the main person that's either the owner of something, and then they're either the son or the daughter of that person, and that they're getting taken into the wing. I'd understand. I wish it is with these videos there'd be a little bit more honesty when it comes down to this, because where is the parent in the equation of this? You know what I mean? Where's the parent in this? Like, first of all, even the US grown adults sometimes be up at midnight, yes, but eventually we got to get some sleep for work and class the next day. Yep. If we stay up later than that, then it's our fault for taking the accountability. Exactly. So drop shipping and internet marketing. But even still, that means you still have to have an adult. How are you obtaining that money? You can't just put that money into like a Cash App and a PayPal and stuff. That's not a real bank. It's not a real bank account. I was able to get a bank at 16 officially, but I was working at 15. My mom said it was 15. I have working papers at 14. How are you obtaining that money? And like, I have questions when it comes down to drop shipping and internet marketing. Now, with adults, it makes sense because there is a level. Once you are past 18, you have the accessibility to go ahead and do whatever, basically. But as a teen, you don't. That means it's somebody else's account, or you have a junior account or whatnot. But I think there's certain age requirements for the junior accounts. There's some questions I have.
They just said the exact same thing, word for word, bar for bar. No Soldier Boy.
Word for word, bar for bar.
I hate to be that guy and say that someone else's dream is unrealistic, because I'm kind of living my dream right now. I mean, I've always wanted to create videos on YouTube ever since I was young, and now I'm doing it. So I don't really want to hate on somebody else's dream, you know?
This is not hating whatsoever, YouTube. This is not hating whatsoever. But yes, this is considered a dream job. Doing this on YouTube, making money off of this, is a career job. It is. The fact is that we have so many people that are like myself that do reactions. We have people who do commentary. You got people that do video games and they get paid off of this and live streams. All of it. Like, that is a reality. It is that most of our older adults would tell us it is unrealistic, which is why I don't ever want to be to the point to where it is just like, I don't want to knock anybody's dreams. But there has to be a level of like, I mean, you kind of have to be a little delulu in order to make your dreams happen. But I don't want you to be far gone from the delusion to where it is like, you got to be realistic. There has to be a middle ground in between that. You understand?
No, but how in the hell are you gonna move to Dubai in only a few months? That's my question right here. Like, bro, number one, you don't even have your license. Number two, I don't even think you can put in an application to move inside of a crib, you know? Like, how is this man gonna make that happen? It just doesn't make sense. BJ. Like I said, I'm not really trying to hate.
Like, you don't have your license, don't have your passport. You may or may not have your passport, but that's really like if your parents do that. The money to go ahead and to fly out, get the citizenship for Dubai in order to get a house, like all of these things, it is that you legally are not going to be able to assess without an adult or a guardian there. That's where that's where the confusion is for me.
Or anything in this video, because it's not necessarily these kids' fault. It's more of what they see on social media. Like, if they see somebody talking about, oh, I'm about to move to Dubai in a few months, they're gonna spew that same thing. But like I said, like, how in the hell are you just gonna randomly up and move to Dubai in just a few months? Like, it does not work like that. This is not GTA. You can't just go on Dynasty 8 and cop a crib within 2 minutes. It's not like that. And also, another question is, why are these kids so obsessed with moving to Dubai? They don't say nowhere else. What about Atlantis? When I was young, I wanted to live in Atlantis. I wanted to live underwater with the mermaids, Aquaman, all that stuff, bro. That was probably...
Look at camera being so mermaid coded.
Probably sick. But now we got kids saying Dubai. Like, what the heck?
Never just made that shit.
This video is crazy because this kid is stressing about his parents working at 13. Not about his parents being poor or homeless or not being able to put food on the table. He's stressing because his parents are working a stable job when he is 13 years old. Something that is normal. Does that not sound crazy? Like, I understand that we all have the dream of retiring our parents, buying them a house, and buying them whatever car they desire, but I don't think that's something that you should be worried about when you're like 13 years old and you haven't even finished puberty. I feel like it's just...
It depends. I think it depends, because if you've watched your parents or you watch your family kind of like go through a level of struggle, and you're like, you know what, when I get to a point to where I can able to help my family, I want to be able to do that. Dude, I feel like that's fair. Like, we all have those levels of like, oh, I want to be able to like buy things for my mom, or I want to be able to buy things for my family, buy things for myself and everything. You know, we all have those levels of things, but the being 13 and then worrying about with your parents working and stuff, you gotta ask that question of this, like, sometimes it is that they enjoy to work. Because depending on how old it is that your parents are, in the stages within life, sometimes they don't want to get up and work every day and whatnot. Cool. But there's other stuff where it is like that's what it is they look forward to. When you start getting past like middle age and older, that gives people motivation to want to get up and go. And when you take that away from them and whatnot, it slows them down. And that's when the level of I'm getting older kicks in. So be mindful of those things. But again, I'm not disparaging. I'm not like, saying anything bad here. You know what I mean?
It's unnecessary stress that this kid is adding to his life at a young age, all because of a finance guru he saw on social media. It is okay if your parents are working a stable job and they can provide for you. It doesn't seem like you in the trenches, my boy. Like, you're literally in a nice house, dog.
They want to becoming a millionaire at 14. I woke up at 6:30 and went on a bike ride before taking a cold shower. Then I spent some time planning out videos and had breakfast. After this, I had some calls and checked on my Discord server before spending some time scripting. Today I made around $500, so pretty good. Finally, I edited some reels and went to bed at 10:30.
Why do you need to become a millionaire at 14 years old? That's like trying to fight millennia during the tutorial in Elden Ring. Like, bro, why are you worried about that? And why is this man taking cold showers at 14? Like, what is the purpose? Now, I will say the good thing out of this video is that it seems like this man has a little schedule going on, he's going to sleep at 10:30. He's waking up pretty early. Like, I do think that is good, but at the same time, becoming a millionaire at 14? Jesus Christ, bro. Realized school wasn't for me at a young age. Became addicted to video games. Tried to becoming a YouTuber. Didn't really work out. Didn't know what to do in my life. I was depressed. Tried making TikToks. Went viral. Nothing changed though. Realized I had to change. Still didn't change though. Finally decided it was time. Started hitting the gym. Tried drop shipping. It failed. Started to make some progress in the gym. Started my personal brand, found Allah, decided it was time to lock in, started my SMMA, making progress towards my dream life. What do you mean I didn't know what to do in life? You're literally a teenager. Most teenagers don't know what they want to do in their life. That is normal. That is not something that is only happening to you.
It's normal for teens. It's normal for my people. It is that it's like 18 and then they 20s and stuff. I've said this on numerous occasions before. I don't know why there's such a rush on wanting to grow up and be a tad bit older than what it is that you need to be. I think that's probably why it is that people say us millennials need to stress out more. Because we didn't have those things. You didn't have those worries at that point. Like, we were still able to go outside and smell like the fresh air, smell the roses and stuff like that. Along with our childhood, we didn't have to worry about those things. We would have to worry about the stuff now as being an adult because, you got these bills within your name and stuff like that you got to pay for and stuff. But there's no need for rushing. That's why I tell anybody this. Like, at 21, it is my parents, when they moved to Dallas, I left to be on my own. And not everybody is able to handle being on their own. And when life throws them curveballs and stuff like that, you're not always going to be ready for those things when it isn't to happen. There's no need to rush. There's no need for any of those things. It's okay to kind of just like live in the moment of what it is your age is. Now, I will say that what I do like about what I'm seeing with these kids so far is at the level of structure. There is a structure, there is a routine that is going on with them that I can just say that you don't normally see that within most kids, but don't push too much to where it is you don't need to. Trust me.
It's like playing a video game and being like, oh, I don't know what to do in the game when you haven't even passed the tutorial yet. Obviously, you're not gonna know what to do until you play the game more, and that game being life. The more you live life, the more you're gonna know what you want to do. Like, it's not just something that you just spawn in this world knowing what you want to do. Social media is dangerous, bro, because why do we have this teen out here having an existential crisis at 13 years old? Right. The only thing you should be stressing over at that age is the homework due on Monday. There is no need to stress about your life when you're that young. Another thing that this dude said in this video is became addicted to video games, and I'm gonna make the wild assumption that this kid probably wasn't addicted to video games, and maybe he was just a child being a child and decided to play video games to occupy his time, because what else can children do? Obviously some kids play video games for a long time, but I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't think this dude was probably one of them. I think the problem is a lot of these hustle culture videos are meant for like an older crowd, but when kids see them or like teens see them, they try to apply that to their lives. For example, let's say like some 30-year-old says, I was addicted to video games games at 26, but now I'm 30 years old. I'd start taking cold showers and I'm a Sigma. They're gonna say that, put that out online. Then a teenager is gonna see that and be like, oh shoot, maybe I should apply that to my life. Now they're trying to live like this 30-year-old rather than just trying to live their youth like any other kid. I think that's the issue here. Stressing at 14 so I can chill at 20.
My brother says stuff like this. My brother's not even 18 yet, and he's like, oh, well, I turned 21. I'm gonna have a big old house. I'm gonna have the car I want and the Gucci watch and everything. Wow, this entire video is my brother. By 21.
There was another kid that I actually reacted to a year ago that did this exact same thing. And I feel like the problem with this is that you're gonna burn out once you're 20 if you're stressing at 14 years old. There's no need to stress at 14 when you're living in a nice house with a home gym. Like, what is there to stress about? This man is just making up stress just so he can stress at that age. Day 167 of monk mode, 14-year-old entrepreneur. That's the corniest thing I've ever seen. This man said school matrix. That's the most Andrew Tate coded thing I have ever seen in my life. It really is. I'm not gonna lie, with them boxing skills, please invest in a gun. I'm not gonna lie, them boxing skills are not saving you, dog. Overall, this is just the byproduct of like hustle culture being so popular online. Everyone thinks that they need a Lambo by 16, when in reality, that's just unrealistic. Honestly, it's a bigger issue than just self-improvement or just hustle culture itself. It's more about the impact that social media has on the younger generation. And that's not even talking just these kids who are doing like this hustle culture.
Yeah, like the way how the economy is right now, if with trying to buy a house, anything it is, like, even depending on where it is that you are. Now, I'm in an area, the DMV, forget it. If you're looking at a house that's a well-to-do, you looking at $250,000. You looking at $250,000, half, damn near. You're looking at close to $1 million for a house out here. The same thing out in New York, California. I don't even want to think about that. I don't even want to sneeze in that direction because of how expensive it is. Depending on where, like, what these houses are, it's just like, dang. And you got to put 10% of what the down payment is for that. And it's like, you know what I mean? And then trying to get a car, trying to get all this. It's like, how do you think it is you're going to obtain all of this money legally? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things that is you have to take into consideration here. So, you said boomers had it easy. That's not true. I would never say it is that boomers had it easy, because they are the ones it is that did not have the level of freedom it is that millennials and Gen Zs have now. There is a lot of discipline that came from boomers on how to act and how to, like, all right, well, you need to go ahead and you need to go to school, get an education, go to college. Because back then the times was different. You can able to go ahead and actually get a job guaranteed from being in these schools and stuff, which is not the same as what it is now. So that's why with our boomer generations and like the, I think, is it X, Generation X? That is after the baby booming generation. They're the ones it is that still like are on us, the millennials and Gen Zs, to say, you guys need to get it together. And it makes sense. It makes sense. I said this yesterday when I did the stream talking about with parenting. You don't understand the things that your parents is trying to tell you as a teen, but it all makes sense when it is that you are not in that house anymore. You're living on your own, and you got these bills to pay. You got an apartment to take care of, and you gotta, simple things, making up the bed, washing the dishes, clean up after yourself. All of those things is applied to life in every single way. And you don't realize that until it is that you are of an adult. And at that point, I just hope it is that your parents be blessed if your parents are still with you. You know what I mean? For you to go ahead and be like, hey, listen, I was a fool as a kid. Because I had that conversation with my parents as well. I was like, I was kind of foolish to some of the things it is that I said. But this by here, I'm a little concerned. Like, I like the level of the structure it is that these teens have, but I am also really kind of concerned on this. Like, there's a level of just like, you're perpetuating this, and now teens have to think it is that they have to grow up and get all these elaborate things at ages to where it is that you don't get that. The average male doesn't even get to numbers to where it is just like becoming successful until middle age. You're talking about something that's either maybe 35, depending, but it's really 40s and the 50s where it is you start getting the real financial freedom. So this is why I'm like, unless it like people think that they're gonna be the next Kai Cenat or Duke Dennis or Speed, is I'm not saying it's unrealistic. It can happen, but there has to be a plan of action.
Thing, right? Just in general, I feel like social media has impacted the youth so much. Like, if a streamer says something, a bunch of kids are gonna go out and say that same thing. If a self-improvement guru says something, a bunch of people are gonna go out and say that same thing. If someone's favorite influencer twerks, they're probably gonna go out and twerk. Like, this pretty much just shows the impact of social media. These are just kids seeing what they see on social media and just replicating it, My overall point, because I've been yapping a little bit, obviously there are some good habits that can be taught from these self-improvement / hustle culture videos, but that really isn't something that you should be worrying about when you're that young. That being said, this is gonna wrap up the video. If you guys made this far, I appreciate you. Once again, I appreciate you guys so much for 100K subscribers. This has been one of the craziest years of my life, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for making it crazier and crazier each and every day. I started this year off with like 20K subs, and now we're standing at I think like 120K or something like that. Like, it's pretty crazy, man. Once again, thank you guys, because y'all are literally insane. I've never just sat here and said that, but thank y'all. Twitch camera WAK. Make sure to join the Discord, link in the description. If you guys enjoyed this video, then I highly recommend you guys check out my most recent video. It'll be right up here on the screen. All that being said, thank you guys for watching. It's Cameron, and I'm out.
Hey, W Cameron. Very informative video. Very, very, very informative video. Said, all right, I'm gonna go to bed and for 2 young. You know me. I'm a certified yapper, bro. But Cameron, shout outs to you. Thank you so much for the video. I appreciate it. Shout outs to y'all in the chat. Shout outs to you at home. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.